let's get started. A little bit of background. I have a 12-year-old son. He likes to game. Go figure. So I think he was 4 or 5. I gave him like one of those 1-liter PCs. You know, they're about that tall, and so I gave him that, and eventually got to games that that thing couldn't handle. So I ended up upgrading my desktop, and he got the hand-me-downs. And obviously, I like PC gaming too. So, but I switched to a Linux desktop from a Windows desktop. I was running Windows 11 until about 2020. And here's what happened. Well, okay. There's my kiddo setup, my setup. And this laptop is at the very bottom. This is what happened when I got off of work and walked out of my office to my desktop PC. The SSD had died. So at that point, I was like, well, I got to order a new SSD. Unfortunately, they weren't nearly the price they are now. So I got a new SSD, and I'm like, well, I don't really play any games that have problems not running on Windows. So I should start eating my own dog food and load Linux, and let's take it from there. I'm sick of Windows anyway. So there's a few ways. There's many ways you can game on Linux. I'm only going over some of them. I'm going over Steam and Proton today, the Heroic Games Launcher, Lutris, and why Lutris isn't all that great. I'll be covering Sunshine and Moonlight, and I'll be covering a little bit of emulation, but I won't be covering Bottles, Wine Tricks, Play on Linux. Name your favorite tool here. There's dozens of them. So the easiest way to get a game running is in Steam. There is no question. There used to be a checkbox where you could check to enable to play all games, but now they just make it the default. So if you own a game on Steam, or you can get a game loaded into Steam, odds are it's going to work. You can also add non-Steam games, like as I mentioned.
That page is the settings on once you install Steam?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you go to settings and then library, and then you got a button right there that says add non-Steam game.
So what do? You put in your CD and you say?
Pretty much.
Upload?
Yeah.
Another thing too is if you have a Windows-only application, you can try your LUG through Steam.
Yep.
Running it through their Proton API.
Yep. Yep.
Seems to work pretty well too.
So Gene, I'm sorry. When I want to go ahead and load up the program, like, what is the procedure if I wanted to run it up through Steam like you're doing right here?
Okay.
I just have the file.
Yep.
And then add it.
Yep.
So where do I go?
Come on. Is my Steam not liking me? Okay, we'll do this. Oh, I've been praying to the demo gods all day, and I guarantee they're giving me the middle finger right now.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, man.
No worries.
I've had trouble
Yeah, it seems like it just gets stuck and you just got to restart it. Okay, it was,
And one particular reason why I'm asking for this is because you know I play EVE Online.
okay.
And that's the biggest problem I've had.
So I play another game that's similar to Eve, and almost, I think it's older actually than Eve, that I'm going to go over in this.
Okay.
You might not want Steam for that.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, start with Steam first, but dang it, where did I get that screen from?
You said EVE Online, right?
Yeah, EVE Online. That was the biggest.
It's got gold on Proton DB, so it should run just fine.
Depends on if it's the most recent version or they're always updating it. They said use wine and configure it, so.
Oh yeah, use Steam for that 100%. You should just, if you hit the add a game button, you should be able to point to the launcher. Yeah, like you've done.
Yep.
Okay, so I see it. Where was that at? That's all I needed to know. And I'm sorry for messing up the presentation.
Where did I? Okay, games, add a non-Steam game.
That's it. All right. So you can add a non-Steam game and you can, okay. And I'm interested in the other things. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you can kind of see where I'm going with what's going on in the background here. Nope. Dang it, no. Okay. So yeah, I guess I just gave away which game I'm going to do on Steam, but so a lot of times my son would come up to me. It's been a little while, but he would come up to me and say, "Daddy, the game doesn't work." So I would go into the compatibility for the game and change the runtime. Didn't really matter what to, it just didn't happen to like that particular runtime. So I'd knock it back a couple of versions and the game would launch and work just fine. But I talked to him today about it and he said it's probably been over a year since he's had to do that. Yeah. Okay, so now demo gods.
You gotta re-render all the bulk indicators first.
Well, fortunately, this game is freaking lightweight as heck, so. And given the specs on this laptop, I kind of had to stick with relatively light titles. So yeah, good to go there. Game running off of Steam.
Is it like a Nintendo game or something, or is that a PC game?
It's a PC game. It's exactly what it says. You're supposed to leave it like running in the background, and every now and then you can come in and do a quest or whatever. But after you've gained enough money by leaving it in the background, my son and I hacked the heck out of it, just to get the stuff sooner. So that's Steam. And thank you, demo gods. All right, so next we're going to go over the Heroic Game Launcher. This covers 3 platforms, only 2 of which I have accounts on. I have accounts with Epic Games and GOG. Amazon takes enough of my money, so I don't need their games too. So where is Heroic? All right, so I have 2 games on Heroic, and basically all you do is you come in and it just brings up the website. It's basically a browser with some wine tricks tied into it. But you log into your account, in my case, Epic and GOG. If GOG comes up.
So does the game play inside the browser?
No.
Okay.
No, Heroic Games Launcher actually ties into Wine. So you're actually playing the game on your computer.
Oh, so it does the configuration for you? So
Yes.
It pulls up the database from what perhaps is on OneHQ or whatever the heck they use.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. That saves a lot of time.
So in this case, I have one Epic Games game that I downloaded. Epic Games, I don't agree with their business practices, but they give 1 to 2 games out free a week. So I'll take your games, thank you. But and I've already pre-downloaded these because I didn't want to deal with the library internet.
Aren't these they're the people that made Binding of Isaac, isn't it?
Yes. I have no idea how to play this game.
Look at that, it's funny.
And it's funny, I'm playing brotato on a potato.
This reminds me of TurboGrafx 16 or something.
Old games are new again.
Yes.
So all these games are going through Wine
Yes.
to actually operate on the Linux machine.
Yep.
Everybody here familiar with Wine, right?
But you didn't have to install Wine though, right?
So here's the thing with CachyOS, it's designed to be kind of Steam Deck-ish. So it already came pre-installed with all the stuff I needed to play a game.
Yeah. Steam will also install all these. If you install Steam, it'll install all that
Yep.
for you as well.
Yep. Uh-oh. Do we? Okay.
Little glitch in the matrix.
And another one I have no idea how to play. I have a tendency to go on every single platform, and when I get on the platform, I grab every single free game they have. And Goggle's no different. Yeah. I don't read anything. So yeah, as you can see, bit of a game that's meant to run on a potato, but it's running fine on a potato and wine.
So when you say run on a potato, what do you mean?
So this is a 5300U, so integrated graphics, and quad core, 8 thread, just basic machine these days.
You know the joke about potato PCs, right?
No.
Oh, okay, so you know how like, you can produce electricity through a potato, but it's really low power? It's basically just a joke to say that a computer is like low power.
Gotcha. All right.
So that's heroic. And I've already done the sacrifice to the demo gods, and they smiled upon me. Okay, so I used to play a game, I think I started in 2006, called Anarchy Online. And it was a great game at the time, and I played it for about 13 years. And then I stopped playing it in 2020 because the company put the game in what they call maintenance mode. A maintenance mode to them meant we're not fixing any bugs, we're not adding anything to the game. The only time we're going to interact with the game is if something breaks. So there have been people that have made bots. So a team of 6 just goes in and rails, whatever enemy needs to be done at the time. And it's fully automated, and the game sucks now. Hi, Chris. So there is a little spin-off called Project Rubica, or PRK, that is basically a bunch of crazy developers that are reverse engineering all the traffic between the client and the server and rewriting the server from scratch. And this game is big. So, of course, first client to launch is Windows. They attempted to do a Linux client, but I could not get it running. They also tried a Mac client for Intel Macs only, but I don't own a Mac, so. So there's another program that I'm about to show you all called Lutris. While I was
Sorry about that. Really sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Hold on. All right. Thank you. My fault. Man, I've got it.
So I was hanging out in the Discord for this particular server, and somebody came up with a YAML script for Lutris to get the Windows version running on Linux. So as you can see, there's all kinds of scripts that I just did a search for EA Sports on Lutris's website, and ton of scripts, thousands of games, and this person happened to have enough experience with Lutris and the PRK client to actually figure out a way to have it go download and pull everything down, except it crashes at the end. It downloads the whole game, and then it dies at the very, very end. However, additionally, the lead developer of Lutris has said that he wants to include vibe coding in the next releases of Lutris. So I don't know how I feel about that. So what I ended up doing was, even though the install failed, I still had access to files. I have access to a command line. So let's do that. So you can see here that the launcher launches, but I'm going to close it out. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Can you close that up a little bit, Gene?
Maybe?
No, I feel like,
Okay, I'm pretty sure full screen is not going to do much. Well, essentially what I'm doing here is just going into the directory where the exe is and telling it to run the exe.
Say that last part again, telling it to run what?
The executable file, the .exe. CLS maybe? There we go. Okay, so CD client.
Gene, I'm sorry, can I ask you one more thing? Is there a way you can make that bigger with the font? Yeah.
This particular
Don't worry about it, just
properties maybe?
depending on what you use, you could do control.
Font.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, yeah. Max it out.
There you go. All right.
Okay, so I know the PRK launcher is in the client directory. So I go in there. What? Oh, it's right here. Never mind. So I can do start. PRK launcher.exe. And now we've got the launcher and we've got 163 people online. I'm going to play. This game's 20 years old, or 25 years old, so again, runs on a potato. And there's my agent character.
Oh, there's a lot of people playing too, that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because there's like, instead of what they call a six-person box where, 6 people are being controlled by one player, these guys limit you to 2 characters per IP address, and they are strict about not allowing bots. Like, they will boot you if they notice. So, like,
how do they figure that out?
I haven't asked the devs that,
Okay.
but there are certain telltale things, like the characters are right on top of each other and moving at the exact same.
I wonder if you could just use Steam and just point to that launcher instead.
this works. The thing is, I got it up and running on my desktop, and I'm like, okay, this is repeatable. I'm not worried, yes.
If it works, don't fix it, yeah.
Now, one of these days, I may take a crack at Steam, but for right now, this does everything I needed to do in Linux pretty much perfectly. Now, additionally, while we're in the command line here, there's a couple of tools that tie into Anarchy Online /PRK that I've already got up and running, but these have to be run from the same command line because they tie into that game. They put a hook in to get, for example, your inventory. Where's the other one? No. Or what missions you're rolling. And then you can kind of automate stuff. The devs have allowed certain automation things that are more quality of life and not like outright cheating. So your game won't run on Linux. Specifically, kernel level anti-cheats. Valorant is a big one that comes to mind right now, or anything else from Riot Games. In this case, you can run Sunshine and Moonlight. Sunshine is a server, Moonlight is a client. You'll obviously need, for the case of Valorant or anything with Windows anti-cheat software built in, you'll need a Windows machine. But you can still play your game on Linux, just over an RDP session, basically. So similar technologies are what, say, NVIDIA is using for their gaming platform, what Google was using before they killed their gaming service. Microsoft, I'm sure, has something similar. This one is free and open source. And then a little quick ping on retro game emulation. For anybody who enjoys 8-bit Wonderland, RetroArch, that's the only place you need to go. Getting the ROMs, well, I'm not going to comment on that. I will say that there are a lot of Chinese Nintendo knockoffs that are obviously pirating their stuff. In summary, why switch to Linux? I covered Steam, covered Heroic Games Launcher, Lutris and Anarchy Online PRK, Sunshine and Moonlight, and emulation. Thanks for coming out to the log. Any questions?
Have you played with DOSBox or that kind of?
I have. I just didn't want this presentation to, go. Yep.
Have you messed with browser gaming that you can host as a service?
I have not, but I have played a lot of games on archive.org's DOSBox web implementation. I wouldn't mind self-hosting that at some point. That'd be pretty cool.
That's something I was thinking about doing, was like having like something like that set up where it's like a little self-hosted game server that you don't even have to like try to connect to it. Like as long as you have connection to the server, you can just go to the domain or the IP address.
But I love the DOSBox and web browser thoughts. That was a pretty sweet trick.
Mess around with modding,
With
modding games.
Not yet. Like for example, see, how do I put this? My son plays Bloons TD6, and he wants mods so bad. But because I haven't dug into that infrastructure and figured out exactly what I need as far as libraries and stuff along those lines to get the mods to work, he's been kind of disappointed. But I was like, dude, there's Google, have fun.
There you go.
Gene?
Yep.
Yeah, so speaking of the kernel anti-cheat, I've, like several years ago, I tried to do gaming on Linux,
Mhm.
and I noticed a lot of, I know this has changed a lot since then, but a lot of the games I try to play were like bronze or worked on ProtonDB, and so I ended up having to switch back to Windows for the first time in like 15 years, just so I can get some games working.
Right.
But I've heard that, since then it's improved a lot. But I hear that the games that are still borked, and this is just anecdotally I've heard, it's because of the kernel anti-cheat. That's like the reason why
Yeah.
a lot of these games are broken right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
So allegedly you could find some versions of the game online without the kernel anti-cheat.
I won't comment on that.
Allegedly, and then those run on Linux perfectly fine.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah. Yes.
Something I've done to get around, I know a lot of the kernel level anti-cheat is typically geared towards players who are mostly playing like online, like either shooters or they're games that basically are like in real time PvP
Yep.
or teams.
Yep.
But there are some games that they have their what is like kernel level anti-cheat to prevent people from like if the game relies on like a gotcha or like a loot box kind of system, they don't want people just spawning those items in the game or whatever. So one way I've been able to get around some of these is purchasing the games on another platform. So for example, like my PlayStation, I do that, and I do a lot of remote play on my Linux systems. So I'm using my Linux systems to play the games, but they're remote on my PlayStation. I just got back from a trip. I was playing games on my PlayStation from like multiple states away.
So
on my handheld Linux device, yeah.
So that was the Sunshine Moonlight.
Yes, and I much prefer using the Linux device and just running the remote playing connection.
Yep.
Like that's like one option to get around some games. Like you're obviously not going to be able to play shooters with that because there is a little bit of a lag in between. But for playing like single player games and stuff or games that just aren't available on Linux, like that's how I've been able to get around it. So you have like your Steam library, you have your games you can play on Linux, and then the games you just absolutely can't, you have to use a console for. You just
Xbox is the same thing, it's web-based.
Yep, Xbox another good one. PlayStation and then PC games too. But
I will 100% play Xbox on my iPad or my computer, just because the TV's occupied and I don't want to have that discussion.
yeah.
I'll just play it here, and then the controller is still connected to the Xbox. So I'm not getting input lag, I'm getting visual lag, but I'm not getting input lag.
I used to do that all the time too, yeah.
Yeah, in my case, before I could get PRK running on Linux, I was actually running it on my Windows Lab machine via Sunshine and Moonlight. And then I figured out how to get it running on Linux, and my poor little Windows PC is lonely again.
There are some ways to get around this anti-cheat, but everyone has to be careful to be under this saying that if you subvert the anti-cheat and they find you, they'll like murk your accounts most likely. And like that's some things that some people are willing to like take those risks. Like me, for example, I'm just not going to download the shady, unofficial supported download of my system. I'd rather just deal with the input lag
Or just not play the game.
or just not play a game.
Yeah. I feel like this goes to show just like how lazy they are about it. You know what I mean?
They're getting better. So I don't remember the name of the game, but there's a game that's coming out soon. I watched a video about it where they are building they're building the game which has the anti-cheat system to run on Linux. So like what you're seeing now with a lot of game development studios, it's very difficult when a game is released and then you have a system like the Steam Deck come out or the Steam box come out or machine or whatever it's called. But when those systems are out and they are already popular and they already take up a good portion of the market, you know, developers are going to want to capture that, because if you look at trends, you're noticing that the trends are going up. And if you lose, like, imagine you lose like 10% of your market share. You know what I mean? Right now, maybe it might be 6%, I think, for Linux, for
it's
gaming.
6 now?
I think it's like 6 for gaming. But you know, it will go up much higher as time goes on. I mean, Windows is only making their system worse. So it's like, yeah, and these companies have to know that if they're going to develop a game today that is going to last years from now, they don't want to lose out on that market share. So, also, kernel level anti-cheat is so stupid. Like,
And that's on MSN.
yes, yeah, over 5%. Yeah. But understand that this is better than it has been so far, and also understand that it says 5% of Steam users are on Linux, but it's not going to account for, like, you know, when they come out with devices like the Steam
Steam machine.
Steam machine. More and more people are using Steam Deck. It's just, you're going to have more people switching over to Linux over time. It's not going to be like 50% market share, but I mean, like, we've seen what 20% of
Mhm.
market share can do
Yep.
to the market. I'm not saying anything specific, but, you know,
I mean, look at what just a measly 5% has done.
yeah.
You know?
20%, yeah. If Linux ever got to 20%, that is like an insane demanding section. So that's like millions of dollars, and companies aren't going to give that up.
Yeah.
We've come a long way with Flux Racer.
I still like firing that up every now and then. Actually, I can give you an even better older one, is XGalaga.
Had native Linux support.
Yes.
The answer for the 8-bit and RetroPie ROMs, just buy the SD card that comes with the 5,000 ROMs
Oh,
on the internet.
Oh, yeah. That's so
no comment.
so legit.
Definitely don't go on Reddit and look for the websites. That would be bad.
Again, no comment.
Good.
Hey, Amazon is selling it now.
Oh, I know. It doesn't make it legal.
And Walmart sells those little TV boxes that give you access to all the TV channels and ever. That doesn't mean that it's legit. Cool. I did actually bring two of these were